This for everybody going through tough times. Believe me, been there, done that. And you know who also are going to go through tough times. Your group while killing this boss. And with that, heartily welcome to a new guide from me, Mr. Worldwide, to the new boss in Asphytor, the Propagator. Welcome. I already released the German version of this guide, and now for my international friends, I will do an international version. So if you don't know me, please look at my channel. It's called Fischer, but I'm today not Fischer. I'm Mr. Worldwide, and I will be speaking international language, or it's a little bit English sometimes. So if you're English speaker, then this is for you. If you are, I don't know, a speaker from any language in the world without French, we don't like French here, then you can understand it too, because it's international, it's for everyone. So let's start with this boss. Before we go through the video, I will tell you a little bit about my bevorzugt On-Stellung in this fight. I want to have 2 jug tanks. It's a lot better with 2 jug tanks. You can play some of the other tank specs too if you want, but the jug tank will do a lot more damage. So yeah, if you want to do more damage, then choose jug tank. I prefer a Sorg and a Merc healer. You can also play operative, that's totally fine, but Merc and Sorg are very good, at least here. But yeah, it totally depends on your choice, so all fine. If we are coming to the DPS specs, I require you to play a range DPS, so you have to play 1 range. Why is that? That we will look at after, or a little bit later. But you have to play 1 range DPS. The best one is Madness or NG. This is both fine. You can also play IO, but yeah, Madness and NG are a little bit better. And for the other 3 DPS spots, we play a Jug, Marauder, and Pyrotech. But yeah, I mean, it depends on your group. So I would like to require you to a Jug and any Marrow, because you want to have the predation for the both Jug tanks. And the Jug will play cut to pieces and do a little bit of add damage for our group. I think the Pyro DPS is the easiest to replace, so you can play operative DPS here if you want. You can play some other DPS if you need, but yeah, Pyro is very good at this boss fight, and the Bounder is also very nice. Sometimes we will look after why. So yeah, I think this is the best DPS setup, but you can choose for your group as you like. So let's look a little bit about the mechanics from this boss fight. I will go through the veteran mode mechanics, and then we will look what is changing in the master mode variation, so it's a little bit easier to understand above what I'm speaking. So we start with the green puddles. You know that from the boss fight we will have a lot of green puddles everywhere. The boss have a few mechanics which he will throw them out on the ground. So if you stand inside it, then you get the dot debuff. It goes very up if you stand long inside it, and it ticks actually very hard if you stack it up. So please don't stack it up. The difference in them is that the puddles are much bigger. So you think it's not big, but the difference is actually quite annoying. So yeah, you have to place them in a very good position. So if you have 1 puddle in the group, then often it's a wipe. Yeah, so be careful for that. The Nerfes strike is our tank swap mechanic. So you get a Nerfes strike, you take it on, I mean, a jug tank with reflect, but on the other tank specs with shroud, or with your shield from the PT. So your crafter truck shield, your 1 million HP thing. But after every Nerfes strike you have to swap. If you get a second Nerfes strike, then you're dead. Also, you have to be in a tank spec. If you're not, then on veteran mode you get a debuff, which then you will do a little less damage. So it's damage down debuff. In master mode you will get the debuff, and additionally you will leave a very big green puddle. Yeah, so a new thing to require you to play on tank spec. But yeah, I mean, I don't tell you that in the first place, but you have to play on tank spec, but you don't have to be on tank gear. Yeah, so because the boss is doing not very much tank damage, you have to play on DPS gear, because, I mean, on retro mode you don't have, but on master mode you have to, because you need the DPS. Yeah, the boss is quite a hard DPS check. If you don't play with DPS gear, then you will not meet the DPS check. Yeah, so you can play with full DPS, I mean healer gear, because you don't need accuracy, but you can play with a focus, so you don't need a shield. Yeah, you have to do damage, but you have to be in tank spec. That's very important. The third mechanic is the red cleave, the extraneous explosion. I think it's called like that. So it's a cleave which goes out from the boss to the tank who has the aggro, and every person, or I mean the first person who stands between the boss and the tank will get the green puddle. If nobody stands between boss and tank, then the tank will get the green puddle at the end of the cast. So be sure that you don't stand between those two persons or droids in this case. So yeah, the boss has a very big hitbox, so go on max melee is mostly the best thing to thing with that. Be aware. Yeah, it's very important. This is one of the most wipe grounds on this boss fight, that people don't care enough about this red cleave. Yeah. Next we have hunting grounds. Hunting grounds, the boss throws 2 green puddles on you, or on you if you're the rangest the person, or the farthest away person. So this is the reason why we play range DPS on master mode, because on veteran mode you can get the stun droid. You can get the stun droid as healer or as DPS. It doesn't matter. The stun droid will go random. But on master mode, the stun droid will only go on healers. Yeah, so if you are a healer and you're playing the hunting grounds, then you will get stunned, and that is not very good. Yeah, but if you're a ranged DPS, you won't get the stun droid, so you can play the hunting grounds. Yeah, so play a ranged DPS. The Hungering Bite is the yellow cleave from the boss. It cleanses your dot stacks, which you will get if you stand in void, and the boss will throw out some stacks at a random time, or not random, but every time he does the cast for throwing out the stacks, you will get the stacks. On retro mode, it cleanses 10 stacks. On master mode, it will only cleanse 3. Yeah, so try to get every Hungering Bite. The Prime Directive is our cast for our ads. In retro mode, you will spawn 1 ad every time. On master mode, you will spawn 2 ads. Yeah. On retro mode, you start with the DPS ad and then the heal ad. Then you don't need the tank ad in the most times. And on master mode, we will do the DPS heal or the tank DPS ad combi first. And the third ad combi is every time the tank heal, because it's the easiest. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if you start with DPS heal or with tank DPS, but be sure to last or to end with tank heal, because it's it's the easiest. The spawn positions are really important. You will see that when I go with the video in a short time. But if you have the boss in the inner circle, so in the middle circle here, then the ads will spawn in the middle. If you have the boss in the outer circle, then we have a few spawn positions, which are exactly at the red canisters and the vent. Yeah, so if you look in the vent, then you see there are red canisters, and the ads will spawn on the line in front of them. Yeah, our bridge for that is we look at the openings, so at the entrance or something like that, and then it will be the line left from the entrance or from the openings in the room. So you will see that, but it's very important that you get the boss on the line when the ads are spawning, so then you have all 3 together. And at least at the DPS heal combi, you can attack the boss, so you can cleave the boss while you're taking the ads, which is very nice for your boss damage. The last thing is the asset collection module. It's new on master mode, and it's very important because you get a small collection droid, which spawns 20 seconds after every ad round, or circa 20 seconds. And it will go on a random person, which is a non-tank and which isn't stunned. And you will collect your green puddles with this droid. So yeah, it's very important that you play that. You can collect 10 puddles, and after 30 seconds it will explode in a big void, which will kick you away and do a little bit of damage. So try to not stand inside it. Normally you won't get the dot stacks while you're collecting it, but this is a little bit bugged for now. Maybe it will get fixed. So try to not collect a lot of dot stacks. But yeah, at our strat you want to collect the voids from the middle, but we will look at that while we're starting the video, which we will do now. So let's see how we are doing in this fight. You see that we will stand exactly opposite from the entrance, and we will get the boss in the outer circle, and we will start with the red cleave. I will run away, throw the puddle in the out, and now we are turning the boss at this direction here, and we will go in around the circle. Yeah, you see that our adds, our constructs, are going onto the boss, so our Jack can cleave them. He has cut to pieces, and we have a few cleave classes as well, so it's very easy to kill the constructs. I require you to bring the constructs in your Lauf-Richtung. So that means that it can be easily cleaved, and if you need to move the boss will need or will move faster than on veteran mode. But yeah, I mean, if you played this boss, then you know that sometimes it takes a little bit of time. So it's very nice if the construct is yeah, not behind the boss, because then you have to stand still with it, and that's a little bit nerfy. Yeah, you see that we'll do our tank swaps, our leaf strikes. The stun droid will come on the healers. You have every time the red cleave again, which we call out, so our DPS knows that they have to be a little bit away from the boss. And you have these little rocket thingies, which were until the ground. Till now you see the little red droids are longer laying there, but that's not the case. This is just a image thing. The rockets are very important, that you need to dodge them, because if you stand inside it, then you get a dot stack for every rocket you eat it. So dodge this, because if you stack very high up, then it's not good for your health. We get yellow beam, and now you see that at the right side we are at the red thing in the wall, and that means we can spawn our first hit. You want to have every one or every wall which you want to have inside, and the other one on the outside. And now we have our first add combi, which is our tank DPS combi. Yeah, on tank DPS we have two adds. So obviously the healers weren't standing inside, because we want to have a tank and a DPS add, and they both spawn with a orange shield. These orange shields are DPS shields, so you need to break them with DPS, and then they will explode. So be sure to break these two shields, and the tank add will shield the boss at the time, so the boss won't get damage. Yeah, you want to start with the DPS add, and the DPS add will kick. This is one of the mechanics from the DPS add, which is quite annoying, but yeah, you can't resist it with Hydro or something like that. So yeah, you have to take it. Try to not get kicked into the void. Yeah. If you break the first shield, then you can throw a rebounder. If you have a PT tank, then you can obviously throw a rebounder for the first shield break too. But yeah, normally you won't have a PT tank, only a PT DPS. And then you will just focus DPS at, cleave a little bit on the tank at, and then you have to kill the tank at 2, and the boss will do a big hit after the adds. We will look at that in the next add phase. But yeah, this is the time you want to throw your AOE there, and then after this you have to look out for the red cleave, because it will come again while you are doing damage on the tank add. So that's very important that you have to look out for that. Okay, now we will go into the second, let's call it phase, but the time after that. So we get our asset collection module. You see that in the link, in the left side, the droid will come through the middle. And then if you have it, then you have a little green arrow above your head, and you have to collect it. Yeah, our Jack now gets this. He will collect at first normally the puddles from the middle, because our range DPS, which is playing the hunting grounds, normally stands in the middle. Yeah, you see that we go with the boss around on the outside, and our range DPS is standing on the inside, so on the middle. And if we get the red beam from the tanks, then we will throw the red beams like on the right side, so outer the circle on the outside. So then we have puddles behind us if we have a construct there, or we get the red beam, the red cleave. We have it on the right side if we get the red cleave, and on the left side in the middle we have our hunting grounds DPS, which is laying there the voids. Yeah, so no voids on our path, and everything very easy and very clean. Yeah, if you get a construct as a range DPS, it's fine. You can let it explode. The constructs do a green puddle if they explode. You know that from hard mode, I think. But if you don't, then now you know. So this is why it's important to kill the construct in the boss, but not if they are away from the boss and at a nice position. Now we have our second add phase. At our second add phase, we play DPS heal here, so the tanks will go out. Make sure to be very out and jump a little bit. Yeah, that's important, because the boss and the positioning in SVTOR is, yeah, as you know it, not very good. Now on DPS heal, we get a new add, which is the heal add, and the heal add does 2 casts. The first one is the heal cast, which just heal the boss, which is not very nice. The second one is the shriek cast. The shriek cast will do a little bit of damage and will interrupt your casting ability if you're casting anything. That is not so important for our melee, but for the range DPS or for the healers, it's not so nice. So try to interrupt both, because why not? Yeah. You want to focus the heal add. Technically, you can focus the DPS add and switch for interrupting, but yeah, that's quite annoying. So just focus the heal add, interrupt every ability it does. We have interrupt Ryan Folk for it, so it gets interrupted every time. And yeah, cleave on the boss while you're doing that, because this is the only add phase where the boss don't have a shield. So it's very good for DPSing. Try to hold both adds inside the boss. You will get kicked, you see that from the DPS add. And in this combination, every time the DPS head loses health, then, or every 20%, you will get a big hit. So try to heal through that. You can throw a sniper shield, as you saw, and then you will be fine. Nice. Now we will go wider. You see that our hunting grounds range DPS try to go and this phase before we cleanse all this a little bit behind us. So it's okay if you run out of space, then you throw the voids behind us, because we can suck it all up now. So our new collection module is there. We will collect all the voids from the middle or from our Laufrichtung, and then we are good to go and go wider. Nice. We will go under 30% now. This is normally your range. The first adds will come after 2 minutes, and then the second adds after 2 minutes. 2 minutes from the end of the add phase, I think, something like that. And yeah, if you have good DPS, then you will start with the third adds like around 15 to 10%. It depends on your DPS. We have it on 7% sometimes. I think in this try, this is our second kill overall, so it was not very clean, because we don't have that much experience. But yeah, I think we get on a good percentage. What you saw now is a little bit of opfering, because if you have too much stacks, then the only way to get the stacks down is from the Hexa bubble. Yeah, if you throw the big force bubble, then you will cleanse all your stacks, because it's a dot. It's actually a little bit dumb, but yeah, you can do that. Or if you die. Yeah, if you die, use it, you will reset all your stacks. So you can just die as the range DPS. At example, if you have too much stacks, die, rest yourself, and then you, you are fine. But I will require you to do the force bubble if you are a Sorc, because that thing at the strat is not very, very good, as you know. Okay, now we come to our third ads. This is the heal tank combi. You will want this to do every time. Obviously, if you're doing the achievement, then not. But if you can do heal tank as last. At this combination, we want to interrupt the healet again, because the healet does 2 casts. What now is important, if we have these 2 ads together, then we need to apply a trauma debuff. You see that I will do this with my durchschlagender Hieb here, because if you won't do that, then the tank ad will get healed. I think like every 5 or 10 seconds, something like that. So be aware that you do the trauma debuff on. If not, then you will start with the tank ad after your healer ad is done on like 100%. And you saw now we had it like 60% with the trauma. Yeah, so that's a lot of damage you are sparing ein. So try to do it. We will go now above the boss mechanic, which he does at the end of every ad mechanic, which is very important. You saw that above there, or you see that above there, the material probe name. This is our big AOE hit, which I spoke on earlier. So try to have a dings, how does it call it, a dev for that. AOE there is very good. You can mad dash that if you want. Technically, you can do the force bubble thing on your healer with the implantate, with the little shield, because it's the right damage type for that. But yeah, I'm not really sure if you need it. You can try it if you want. And now we're approaching the last burn, let's call it burn phase of the boss. Why is it called burn? Because you can only get 2 or these 3 ad combinations, which we had, because you can only get ad twice. So a tank ad twice, a DPS ad twice, and a heal ad twice. And now we don't have enough combinations, so we can't play a 4th combination. And if you can't do that, then the boss will spawn Wong fully construct, something like that, which will do a lot of AOE damage on you till you wipe. So this is the, let's call it soft or hard enrage, but you can't play a new 4th combination. So now you can start with ignoring the constructs, because you only need boss DPS. If you have a construct very bad laying, then obviously you can kill that. But yeah, we now start to move into the middle. Our range DPS will stand outside, because we have a lot of room in the middle. And then you just focus boss. Yeah, we tried here to get a little bit of 20 stacks achievements, but yeah, this is a lot easier on Sorc as it is on the other classes. So try to do it on Sorc, obviously. Okay, nice. This was the boss fight. I hope you understood a little bit of it. It's actually not so hard. It's just very punishing. There are a few mechanics which are very punishing if you miss it or if you played it wrong. And sometimes the boss does a little bit of randomness. So sometimes he switches aggro before his Leafy Strike and do this on a DPS because nobody knows why. It's not an aggro thing, but sometimes he just does it because he wants. This is a little bit buggy, so I hope they are fixing this. But otherwise, it's actually quite nice boss. And I very liked it. I very liked it progging. So I hope you have a lot of fun doing it. And I wish you very big luck. And see you at the next time. Mr. White out. Dale.